Thank you for the send-off. We are going to get started here into Day 5 here at Detonation Focus Me versus EDG. And we're looking to see if Detonation Focus Me can actually sort of rebound and show us some of that talent that brought Day 1 Gaming to nearly a loss against them during group stage, or at least during the round robin of MSI. They've not been able to really show a lot of success here in this group. It's a pretty challenging group with T1 and EDG in here, but there's still time here. We saw great upsets yesterday, complete turnarounds from an 0-3 team here, and let's see what they're going to try to actually prioritize here. Are you going to pick up the LeBlanc for himself? Kind of first picking that, kind of blind picking that. Could end up getting neutralized. They got rid of the Twisted Fate for it. So, but this is going to put a lot of agency into Arya, who's the star mid laner for this team. Now I just get to figure out what EDG wants to do. EDG, they're sitting right as rain right now. They've got their 3-0. They just need like one more win, and they're guaranteed to get out of groups, I believe. So this basically, they take this last game right here seriously, and then they can just kind of coast out for the rest of the day. Not likely that they're going to do that. It's LPL. And also the EDG fan base is bloodthirsty for a world championship. They haven't gotten, I think, anything on an international scale except for the MSI, where they upset SKT. Alrighty, so, and here comes the Talon. Jace is nice and all, but Talon, we did not see a lot of Talon in a lot of other teams or a lot of other groups here, and JJ's going to be picking that up here. And Talon, I think, has really just been super underrated and really hard for teams to adapt into just playing and playing well. The mobility of this champion, the burst, the assassination, the lethality. It's an AD jungler, so you don't have to have any weird picks in your mid lane. I feel like it's just super underutilized in this tournament once we got into the main stage. We only play inside Mojito as a standout here. JJ is bringing it through. It's just only been like either the top of the play-ins groups, like Mojito and Galatasaray, or JJ here at EDG. Now, this could be a Xin Zhao and Poppy pickup. Like the Poppy pick, it's going to prevent a lot of engages coming in from Flandre and JJ's champions respectively. Going to be able to protect the backline of Udapon and Gang, who look like they're going to get their final picks at the end. Gang could end up taking the Poppy into the support role, but that's not likely. It's probably going over to Eevee. And here comes Lissandra, and it's only been picked once, and it won. I feel like that was play-in game. I cannot recall who actually played the Lissandra earlier in the tournament here. Urgot, Lee Sin, Yuumi banned out, no surprises there. Eevee kind of a Urgot one trick. Now, what else are we going to actually worry about here? Aphelios is still up and available. There's the Leona looking for the Misfortune. The Lucian was banned out earlier along with the Graves. Draven being taken away from Viper. Sort of leaving Jhin, Misfortune are still up and available if I'm not mistaken. Seen a little bit of Raul. Braum, usually the good counter for the Misfortune. To at least have that staring contest between the Unbreakable and the Bullet Time. But yeah, and the Ezreal ban, so getting rid of Udapon's safe pick there. Not gonna allow anyone to shift away from the assassination or from the engage from Scout, and then the Aphelios ban. So we're gonna have like 3rd, 4th tier ADCs here. I'm expecting like a Jhin, and trying to think of what else we could see here. Jhin, Ashe maybe. There's Misfortune. Forgot about her. So Misfortune avoids the ban list. Actually gets all the way down to like 4th pick here on EDG's side. It's still winning pretty well. Still duels out pretty well. And there's the Jhin for Udapon. So big utility AD carry. Got to get really later in the game for his auto attacks to really be putting out a lot of work. And the Alistar, which we did see brought in by C9 in their last game here, was really happy to finally see that. I don't believe it got them the win but it is one of those tanky supports that I think should be in the meta a little bit more. I know that Leon is a better, more consistent, tankier brawler than Alistar. Alistar relying on his ultimate much more to survive his engages and survive the attacks on his hide. Mako hovering the Brakan. But yeah, so glad to see the Alistar getting in here. Should be a lot of good fun roaming on that. It leaves the DFM comp kind of low on damage here, though. A lot of utility. It's going to be kind of on Steel and Eevee to really kind of blow up someone. Meanwhile, like between everyone on EDG's side, there's a lot of ability to just blow up a target. You know, Flandre with just jumping in with the power slam. JJ can probably 1v1 anyone on the other side of DFM until like Eevee is like super tanky. Scouts can be able to just jump into the middle of anyone, pick a target, and they're gonna die. So this is a very disparate difference in comp advantages. DFM with a lot of ability to skirmish around, but I don't think EDG is going to shy away from that one. So let's go ahead and start heading into the match.
So that front line is going to have to be careful as Evie gives us the thumbs
I have been missing a few things.
We're on our way onto the Rift for game number 1. The really cool thing about yesterday existing is the fact that
Alrighty. So let's start jumping on into the match and start figuring out what these teams want to get done. I think we need to actually just start talking about how that Asia Focus can sort of turn this around. What's their sort of win condition they can pull out with this comp here, because there is a lot of team fight prowess, a lot of ability to separate and divide Edward Gaming to actually jump on and get the pick that you want. The Crescent Guard from Steel to just kind of push everyone away and remove their formation. Eevee able to just send the front line back to the fountain just by her hammer swing, and that should allow for Arya, Udapon, Steel to really just pick out a target, root them up, and blow them up, and get them into a very advantageous point in a team fight, let alone in a skirmish. No special starts here. Ward put out in the tri-bush by Gang and straight over to Sweeper. Otherwise, a simple line of scrimmage here. It looks like junglers are going to start topside. And it's not too clear. Like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of ganking here. There's no ganking patterns that follow along with either of these junglers, really. And I would kind of think it's going to be, like, the pace setting could be set by Steel if he actually wants to try to get a gank off and get, you know, Arya or Udapon ahead, but there's not really anywhere for Steel to gank that would be the best thing. Like maybe a really early gank to like get Eevee ahead of Flandre, just to make sure Flandre is not going to be able to take over like he normally would on this Jace pick. But JJ is going to be happy to farm all the way to 6, so he's just going to be farming heavy, and Steel maybe trying to match that. And so we may have ourselves actually a pretty passive beginning of this match. And Arya getting a very good trade here. No return damage there from Scout. So yeah, I think we're going to have a pretty chill, pretty simple first, let's say, 10 minutes of this match. Just going to be, you know, seeing how the trades go, seeing if there's going to be any bloodshed in these lanes here. Arya working really hard here to put the hurt on Scout. Everyone with biscuits and their refillable potions. So yeah, nothing too special, nothing too hype for a while.
Not quite that far in as DFM has gone for the Igniter as well. Evie also going for the Grasp, which I like. Wonder how much trading capabilities Flandre is actually going to give him to kind of proc that. And Scout also going to the Aftershock, where we've seen a lot more Lissandras move away, go for things like the Electrocute, because Aftershock, of course, it's been a while, but it got nerfed a long time ago to
it got target nerfed because of this champion.
Yes.
That's why it got nerfed, and yet still. It's not fair.
If you don't build resistances, it's not as good anymore. Because Lissandra didn't build resistances, and she never died. Ever. Yeah. It was not great. Well, it was great.
Okay, so, Judgy actually making a slight adjustment here. Doesn't get the full clear off before we get to the crab. He's actually going to go for an invade here. Steel's going to be able to secure this. He puts the ward over. He's going to see Steel coming. This is going to be full knowledge. And now Steel needs to play it careful. He doesn't know he's been spotted. And Scott's going to come on over and just a shadow. And Steel's going to wait here a little bit too long. No, he knows where he is. This nice little clever ward. And now EDG are going to get the double scuttle here. It's going to be taken over by Mako and Viper here bot side. So that's going to put a good gold advantage over into EDG. Nice little healthy one. Gang kind of getting caught out here, bud.
Grand entrance to come on forward. Yeah, but Gang just going to take a bit of damage here and he'll be alright.
This composition has a lot of power around this Xin Zhao pick early, because there isn't a lot of escape power for Lissandra, so if she's pushed up too far in the lane, you do need to have that extra vision to know when the Xin Zhao is coming through. That's so critical.
And here you already see the dominance from EDG.
Yep. Prior every single lane. JJ is invading. They've gotten double scuttle. Like, there's not a lot for DFM to really get done with this comp. It's a very passive setup from them. It's a very passive comp.
Scout has already got a fresh back in now, so to the map, secure more vision. Second time we've seen this, like continuously, EDG now already, they've been tracking Steel, they've picked up every minor objective around the map.
Yeah, they're just in full control here right now. So EDG in the driver's seat. They've got their forward line of vision quite a bit, actually. Yeah, they got some right there by the blue buff, their top side.
Everyone is always tracked to look for those aggressive plays that are so necessary for them in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel like
Good chain connect from Arya.
to just sit back and let it go is Evi's lane on the top side of the map. If Evi actually doesn't
Oh, Scout going in.
behind and ends up just having, maybe a small CS deficit in the early parts of the game, you're going to feel okay with that because his job, as you guys point out in the draft later on, is just going to be able to turn these team fights into, what was a 4v4 fight into a 4v3 or a 5v5 fight into a 5v4 fight. So that's kind of his role, and as long as he doesn't follow too far behind or get picked early, then that's good enough. But everywhere else on the draft map, that's where you need to look for those opportunities.
And I really love that it plays into Evi's strengths as well, right? Like, ever since he's been on this roster, and he's been here for a very long time, he's been that tank player. He was the guy that was playing the Tom Kench top before it was cool, and he's
Big news there.
that sort of style. He's not necessarily
I'm a little sad we actually haven't seen the Tom Kench top during this tournament here. Steel, I think you're about to get collapsed on, buddy. JJ has Roger, gets the double proc here, and he just is going to steal the wolves.
and so things just not very fun.
No, things not fun at all here for DFM here. Lack of priority in these lanes means that Steel is just going to be able to get pushed in. Arya pushed through in the mid, could not help with that invade.
Even with Arya pushed in, Steel already falling further and further behind, right? He's a level behind, 11 CS. This next grab with the pry the way it is, surely also going
I think JJ's going to meet him here.
You can walk up, Steel.
Yeah, that's a face
Ooh, gets the bleed off, and here we go, and he's going to get rooted up, and there's going to be the jump on. Oh, but they're both going to go down here. First blood goes over to Arya. Arya with the blow up. Didn't even have to use the ultimate for that one. Good one for one on the fight exchange there from DFM. Ready for the jump.
EDG was premeditated by vision. They had a control ward there in the brush. They knew exactly where Steel was going to come. They knew the timing of that Scuttle Crab, and they knew exactly where he needs to be pathing. They even check with a Scryer's Bloom as well, right before this happens. You're a level up right now. You know you have lane prio, so you commit to the play.
And here you do also see a lot of the power that comes out early on in why this 2v2.
That is insane that they actually got the
The amount of damage that Steel was able to get in with like just
kill
a
off.
little bit of health, is
Oh,
still
yeah.
enough to allow Arya to actually get
Oh, and here comes the next Scuttle Crab here. Steel can't get it. Can't get it. And now this gold lead extends for EDG and specifically for JJ.
Between these junglers right now.
Yeah, he's 14 CS ahead of Steel right now here. And that's jungle CS. That's going to be way more impactful than the standard, 14 CS in the lane.
Skirmish, but he's falling further and further behind.
Yeah.
And look at EDG. They got a stacking tier in the top lane, Flandre.
Yeah. We're just waiting for Flandre to go off here with that tier and get his items.
Viper has
There's just not much.
I'm not in a rush.
I think since the end of draft, I've just not been a fan of this comp from
I think very
That Nation Focus me. Aviana tank, yeah, is a super comfortable thing. But the rest of DFM just so limited in what they can do. It still feels like it's really on Arya to get something done here. Utapon, he's not going to win a duel against Viper, let alone anyone else. And the Utapon gang combo, I just don't think is going to get too much done in the 2v2. They're just going to be evenly matching.
clean it's all set up.
And it's just going to be left to that here. The fight between the junglers is kind of everything here, but it's in JJ's favor here. He even got the kill in that last exchange onto Steel.
As EDG might be preparing to head over and pick that one up.
Yeah, they're gonna have to,
Yeah, Herald is going to be in play here.
Is happening here for DFM. You can see that on the bottom side they do have Cryo, so toying with the idea of staying there as they have enough time here to rotate over as the scuttle fades away. JJ and
Yep, so DFM recognizing that they've been behind the curve for a while here. Top bot lane is moving first here. Gang, I think, waiting for some call. But it looks like it's going to be given over. So Herald is going to go over to DFM. Oh no, Scout's arriving.
Of DFM, Steel is just going to back away, not going to fight off more than he can chew this stage of the game, especially with the position that he is in.
Yeah. Gang finally arriving. The entire bot lane. So DFM had a read on this, but doesn't look like they're gonna be able to. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do as much with this. Arya just stuck pushing mid. Steel, they're just gonna leave it alone here. So the entire fight option and the rotations that they were starting, they decide against it. They're gonna leave Utapon bot. Gang is gonna play screen in the river, and I think they're just gonna try to funnel a bunch of gold into Utapon, which is, I guess, mildly agreeable. He's gonna be able to at least get a turret plate. Oh, and Gang gonna have to run away here. He's gonna get down so low, and he's gonna get charmed up here. The Ignite's gonna hit him. Oh, and he is so low here. One auto from Viper, and that's gonna be secured. Great early use of the level 6s here.
yeah, that's just as simple as that. I mean, you're clearing vision, you're way too far out, just mistimed when the rotation was going to come back to the bottom lane there and gets punished for it. Stays too long, way too greedy there, and that's a lot of extra gold going over to Viper, who, as you mentioned, Chronicler is already building towards that coal gold, and he's going to hit a really big spike.
Oh yeah, major spike.
Fight if things continue as they are, and giving that extra free first blood gold over, or rather early gold here, not first blood, is going to be so massive.
Now, I want to go back to something that you said earlier, Chronicler. It's that feeling of inevitability, and EDG have started it very early in this game. You could imagine that DFM are thinking like, we have to make something happen. We have to do something, but we're only 10.5 minutes into the game. We've only had 3 kills so far, but already EDG feel in complete control.
Oh yeah, they're nearing upon a 2k gold lead right now. And this just goes down to the priority that's in these lanes here, and yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially in the last 2 games, they were very good, but it wasn't necessarily clean. There was some liberties taken, there was some corners cut, and EDG, they will have none of that. Now, it is not all bad news for DFM. Obviously, the lead thus far, not insurmountable. We've seen the power in like 2v2s, 3v3s that you can have with Steel and Arya. Utapon can still make a big play.
Oh, about to get a catch. Maiko, battle dancing out. Grand exit out. Like, I think Chronicle is trying to bring in a sense of chance there. It just doesn't feel likely here. The passive dominance from EDG in this game is really hard to understate here. They've got the first arrow. They're about to get the first Drake. They got the 2-3 Scuttle Crabs out of like the first 4. I don't feel like anyone on DFM's even gotten a Scuttle Crab so far. We're approaching a 3k gold lead at, it's gonna be like 12 minutes or something like that.
Showing off going on. There was a little bit of Wolf. I want to 6-0 this group and make people remember the last game, whereas Edward Gaming here just saying, no, we're going to 6-0 this group in very careful fashion, not going to take any risks.
Yeah, well, DFM far more looking to answer a long time batch of questions of trying to get this legendary org from China, a world championship. And they've been very lacking in that over the years here, trying to make super teams, trying to put a lot together. Clear Love and Maiko been here for a long time, and they might even be able to get themselves a good running this year. I think Eevee might be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, he's going to miss it in Flandre. I think he's going to want it. Oh my gosh, the pot heal is everything. Oh, here comes the teleport in, but that's going to be exchanged for Scout and Arya. Not much to be shown here, but yep, still ready for all that. It's not going to be too much.
You're like, well, if he's going, I'm going, and you don't actually have to fight there.
No, just neutralize the opportunity here. No 1v1 advantage in Arya's favor to take out Flandre.
To actually dodge that ultimate, though. It doesn't end up leading to the kill. He's one auto away. But man, EDG not only looking fantastic, but so disciplined here. And that's the big standout so far in this game. We're at a 3-kill game where they have 3,000 gold to lead.
Yeah, they haven't had to do a lot. And a lot of these turret plate gold, it's actually been like less turret plate gold. Mid lane's gotten a lot of turret plate gold. Bot lane not so much. Your top lane is starting to finally cash it in. But a lot of the gold's just been in like wave management. The CS numbers are very high actually. It's a 40 CS lead. Or a 20 CS lead for JJ. So he's still holding out strong here. A near 30 CS lead for Flandre. But it's come down to like Scuttle Crabs, the Herald, you know, rotations, and it's just so close. And that's gonna be first turret, and it's in Flandre's hands, which you don't want that. He's gonna be able to actually really punish Eevee for the next 10 to 15 minutes until we get to a much tankier version of this Poppy. And now they gotta steal out jungle, so it's just been a big jungle diff. Just jungle farming diff. Not even that steal's been like doing bad, it's just that all of EDG have just been bullying him. There's not much that the rest of DFM can do to help the situation out. And this ward line from EDG just keeps inching forward, like inch by inch, and just taking over all of DFM's jungle. Like Steel's not gonna be able to get a lot of farm done here, and he's not gonna be as threatening as he normally would want to be in the early parts of this game.
Individual level as well as the cohesion and safety that the EDG had been able to provide for themselves.
Some of the ways that DFM get back to this game just don't feel realistic considering EDG's safety, right? If you do overextend or if you go too deep trying to clear vision and you run into Arya in the jungle alone, or if he's able to find somebody with the vision control that DFM would hope to have and maybe gets a pick there, then maybe you could 5v4 fight, but they're just not taking any risks. They're not walking into anything like this.
Maker almost did.
Yeah, EDG are getting their vision line, but they're not going too hard on too much of anything. They've got their numbers advantages, or at least pretty secured when they're going in. Oh, Scout about to get caught here, but that's going to be a dead Arya. Here's going to get rooted up. Here's Scout. Just surprising everyone with this pick here. Steel's going to have to use the crossing guard to try to get him away here. Eevee's trying to tank it up here, but he just doesn't have enough tankiness in him yet here. And that's 2 kills in the favor of EDG, and the inevitability of this match just keeps grinding closer and closer. It feels so suffocating, so hard to get anything done here. JJ's going to solo out the Herald here.
Every time it looks like they might make a mistake, they might walk too close, you could turn it.
It's a good engage there, but that turret's going to go down here. Gang with his ultimate up. Little dodge from the shock blast there. Did Scout not see that?
I think EDG's pretty good. Whoa.
When was that controversial?
Hey, I had him over FPX. I was one of the people who didn't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was one of the people who said, okay, I think EDG's the strongest one from LPL.
I watched that podcast, Wolf. I can confirm that is in fact indeed what you said. As we're going to check this one out once again, it felt like they had no chance.
No, no chance here. It's like gold difference, on the same page, where the damage is. Arya was already dead, so one of their main damage sources were gone. It's just so bad. I really wish that teams, especially when they have like good AD carries, had a better answer than Jhin for their AD carry selection process.
And it's just piece by piece, step by step, but they're starting to get a massive lead now.
And there you also see the problem. In a straight up 5v5, especially if you lose one of your most potent damage dealers, you're just not going to be able to actually kill anyone on EDG. The opportunity for DFM just isn't really there. Thus far, EDG have also, as pointed out previously, whenever someone goes in, there's always a buddy nearby, right? There's always the potential for maybe a collapse, for a rotation. And that is one of the main reasons why I think that what DFM could do against a less disciplined team is trying to catch someone that's going for a rotation, that's trying to secure an aggressive vision line, maybe goes for a face check, load him up with Arya.
They're going to try to catch Scout here, actually. So they're going to try to get a tempo acquiring play, but Scout's going to have too easy of a time getting out of that. Meanwhile, 3 topside here. I don't think Arya can stop this. And that's going to be a Herald coming into play. Here's JJ. Oh, this turret's going to go down without even the Herald in tow. are we 18 minutes here? It's gonna be a 4-turret lead for EDG. They're already,
They're just stealing DFM's lunch money.
yeah, they're already like 9k ahead.
As an option, EDG is so
And here comes the Herald just to take care of mid lane here. Don't even have a big wave for it. Shock Blast is gonna put Utapon and Gang on notice. Arya trying to actually have a little bit of a flank here, trying to hit that eye. Here comes the teleport, and that's not gonna get anything. Good Shock Blast again. Oh, and they predicted. Viper knows it's happening, and Gang goes in, but he's not going to be able to get much else done here. It's going to be secured by JJ. Mako trades his life, but I think the rest of this fight's going to be kind of like in the bag here. Arya not even going to be able to dodge from JJ's blades. And this turret's going down here. DFM looking for a last dance, last chance, but Viper wise to the play here. Gang trying so hard here with the flash knockup, but it just will not play out here. 3 die on the side of DFM. EDG now even more on the driver's seat here, more enabled here. But there's, oh, Viper just predicts that. He just knows what's happening here. Steel put out of this fight so early. Can't get much else done. And at this point, trying to send people away, but Eevee gets locked in by the Everfrost, and there's not much else to really be done here. And there's not much for Utapon to do. There's not much for this AD carry to do. He's 1.5 items in against the 2 full items of Viper. His ultimate is not going to get a lot done, nor push them off of this tower, because, I'm sorry, Jin's ult these days is not a very threatening ult at like any level of play.
EDG just continuing to put on the pressure, and I like that you mentioned like getting rid of Arya means that all of their damage is gone, and it feels exactly right. Like Utapon, yes, we've seen Jin be quite successful here at Worlds so far, but he's not the same sort of consistent damage dealing AD carry.
No, he's not Nephelios. He's not anything else. Oh, Arya, I don't think you're going to have a chance here. He's going to probably bleed out. They just need one thing. Viper's going to catch him. He has to distort back to try to escape the situation, but he just ends up deeper in the Hornet's nest here. And now EDG, no Baron required. It actually just spawned here 25 seconds ago. And this feels like a Baron, you know, threat here. And there's not much wave clear on the side of DFM either. So they actually get to treat these very standard waves like Baron waves. And there's the 6th turret for EDG. So this is actually, this comp's actually really biting DFM in just really hard, really bad here. No priority from any of their lanes. No wave clear. The damage profile is extremely low. Like this entire match kind of feels like it got decided way back in draft. And I think there's a reason that we're also seeing why tanks aren't really coming into play here, especially when there were enough bans in Champion Select to basically deny a real AD carry for Utapon here. And Gang is going to ult up here, but he's going to be rooted up just long enough, and that kills can be secured by Viper. Teleport in from Arya, but there's not much he can do. There's just not much that can be done here by DFM. We're going to try to catch on to Mako, but he's going to battle dance away. You know, grand entrance. Goodbye. Utapon, I'd say careful of JJ there. It's not clear that EDG have gotten too confident just yet. He's just going to tickle them. He's 2 levels down from JJ. 1 level advantage in the top lane. 1 in mid. 1 in support. Yeah, Steel is just not there. All of your jungle DFM is owned by EDG. And here comes 3rd Drake here, 22 minutes. And DFM are going to look for this fight here, but they just don't have a chance here. They're, what is that, 12,000 gold down? There's just no chance here. Eevee's already cut in half here. He's supposed to be the tanky one of this team. Utapon Gang gonna Hex Tech Flash away. Arya trying to get some poke in here, but that's JJ. He's got his Gore Drinker. And here comes the Shock Blast from Flandre. There's not much for DFM to do here. This dragon is done. It's gone. The team fight's already lost just from the poke.
DFM has had the best tournament that the LGL has ever had. They've had an incredible performance in play-ins. To me, the beauty of League of Legends is getting to play-ins, or out of play-ins rather, is in of itself an incredible achievement. Hell, even getting into play-ins is an achievement, right? But then, even with how amazing that was for DFM and how good they looked, as you pointed out, got a pivotal victory over C9 as well. To
Is-
then come up against EDG, like how big the gap is that we see.
Oh, it's a huge gap.
In control EDG
It's a huge gap.
one of the, like how much skill expression there is in this, right? Like how
Also, how the
so DFM
it's like skill expression and everything. Like all the in-game stuff is like so there. Like I like to feel like there's another world where Poppy against Jace, you know, has a much greater chance of success here. It's just somewhere along the way, the gap between just the regional, the talent level of the two regions is just super high. It's just such a disparaging situation.
Sometimes you have to hope, I think, in some of these upcoming scenarios and objective fights that maybe you can get that Poppy pickoff like you've been talking about, Atlas.
Yeah, they need that Poppy pickoff.
Maybe pull this off. You have a LeBlanc come in and assassinate someone like Mako, who's been a little bit aggressively positioned clearing vision so far this game, but I mean, EDG are just so oppressive once again.
He's not been able to get caught out here.
To this push where they don't have
Even if Mako's in too deep here, like he has just the grand entrance and maybe some battle dancing to get himself out of it if an ally is nearby.
They didn't have a lot of priority.
But DFM aren't really able to really capitalize on it.
The draft certainly were a bit of a mishap, but the way EDG
The only way they really are going to win this is if like EV knocks like 3 of EDG out of the fight and it's just a 2v5 for like a good 5 seconds. And that could be enough time, but I don't think EDG are going to position themselves for that sort of issue to happen. And now 24-40 and we are jumping into the Baron pit here, and DFM, they're wise to it.
Maker's record was full, so let's see if he can keep it up.
we'll see. Teleport to come forward here.
Scout's going to be on the backside here. He's going to actually root up Steel. Steel trying to jump on him, but not going to be too concerned about it. They're going to jump on to Gang here. He's going to go bring out his Unstoppable, but Steel's going to flash into the pit to try to escape it, but they're just going to all get chased down here. Viper in the middle of it all. Ari on the outskirts. Can't get a kill. Here comes the teleport topside here. They don't need the Baron. They are so far ahead here right now. 14,000 gold lead. And Arya, I'm sorry, man. You're just not going to be able to get much done here. Gonna not even worry about the ultimate. He just needed to reload, I think. That's all he was worried about. And now EDG waltzing through, wiping out DFM here without much of a fight, without much of a chance here. And I'm sorry, gang. You tried so hard, but game 1 of today here, day 5. For Group B, EDG take their win, and EDG further secure themselves for getting out of groups and making it into the playoffs.